Well, thank you all for coming tonight. This is really a special night for me and for our board of directors. It's a chance for us to recognize the donors for Camp Soaring Eagle Foundation. Obviously, without a great deal of community support, and by the way, our community now spreads across the United States from coast to coast and from border to border. There are 123,000 kids in Arizona that qualify to come to camp. So we have a long, long way to go to fully service and to meet the mission that we've set for ourselves. I especially tonight want to thank all of the staff here at Cardin Children's Medical Facility. What Cardin has done for Camp Soaring Eagle and for our foundation is nothing short of just miraculous. The volunteers that we have, you'll hear more about that a little later, that come from here are an integral part. We just couldn't have camp without Cardin. Great support and something that we are truly indebted to all of the people here that are affiliated in any way with Cardin. What I want to do tonight is introduce you to the lady that gets it all done, our executive director, Jennifer.
Well, again, I'd like to thank you one and all for coming out tonight and taking time out of your busy schedule to help us celebrate all of the support that we have received. Over the last few years, Camp Soaring Eagle has come a long way. This year will be our 4th year conducting camping programs, and none of this would have been possible without the generosity of the individuals here tonight and many, many others who couldn't join us this evening. But 4 years ago, we started our first program with 2 travel trips to Association of Hole-in-the-Wall camps. But since then, we have added camper weekends at the Jackpot Ranch in Camp Verde, family retreats in Sedona, and countless day programs. And that progress could not happen without your support. And so from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Tonight, I have a lot of really exciting news to tell you about. We are really going places. In 2012, we're gonna hit it out of the park. And in order to do that, and in order to serve more and more of those children, of the 125,000 in Arizona, we need more people to know about Camp Soaring Eagle. And one of the great ways we're going to do that is with our new public service announcement. And I'm so excited, we're going to debut it tonight. Jane Seymour, our official spokeswoman, has done the narration for us. But this has been made possible thanks to the generosity and the big, big heart of Brian Calling with Calling Media. Brian, will you raise your hand? Brian has underwritten all of the production costs for this. Brian is assisting us through his network of clients to get this on the air, and next month you're going to be seeing it running 60 to 100 times a month across Arizona. Thank you, Brian. So tonight, in addition to telling you the progress and the different things we're going through, I'd like you to hear from some of the campers, their parents, some volunteers, and other individuals, so you can learn firsthand what an incredible difference that you're making. So I'd like to introduce Ivory, Jazz, and Soul.
My name is Ivory. This is my daughter Jazz, and this is my son Soul. Both of my children have respiratory illnesses. My daughter Jazz has asthma, and she has been hospitalized for that and low oxygen levels. My son Soul was born premature, and he has lung disease and primary immunodeficiency disease. He gets sick easy, and when he gets sick, his oxygen drops and his lungs have a hard time functioning, and he ends up in the hospital. Very thankful and lucky for the team that I have working with my children, his doctors, Dr. Panesar and Dr. Rose at Arizona Asthma and Allergy. They've been really good with identifying what's going on and really knocking it out before it gets really bad. There's been times last year from January to March, my son missed 22 days of school and I missed 22 days of work. And I ended up losing my job. So the kids, when we heard about Camp Soaring Eagle, I was a little hesitant about it. I contacted Juan and he sent me an email right back, and he was, from there on out, very easy to contact and just letting me know everything that was going on. I received packets in the mail. I read all the packets through, showed it to the kids, and I don't think I didn't hear about it at least 10 times a day after that until the time they went to camp. So, every single day. And it was like 2 months ahead of time. I should never have told them, but it was bad. But they went to camp and they were nervous and scared, and I was a little worried because they're so young and small and sick, and I worry about leaving them with my own parents because I'm afraid that something's going to happen. And then I was reminded, Ivory, you're sending them with doctors and nurses, and they're in better hands than being with you. So they went to camp and they had a blast, and they did tons of things. I asked them when they came home, the first thing, like, were you scared? Did you ever cry for mommy? Did you miss me? I just wanted to hear that. I wanted my ego stroked a little bit. And Jazz's response was, I said, who was there to comfort you when you missed me? I didn't miss you, Mom. I was having fun. I was like, it was like a knife through the heart. But that's okay. It was good. At least they had a good time. So they had a blast, and they're already looking forward to the next one. They can't wait to go again, and I can't wait to send them. So Jazz did want to say a few words, and so did Soul.
Hi, my name is Jazz. I'm 8 years old, and I'm very short. My immune system is weaker than usual, and I had to stay in the hospital until my breathing got better. When I have an asthma attack, it feels like I'm getting shaky and I can't breathe up as high as I usually. When asthma camp is really fun because we do things like fishing, golfing, shooting arrows, and my best one, the one that I really liked, is fishing because I like swimming and it has something to do with water. And I really want to go again. Thank you. Hi, my name is Sol, and my favorite color is blue and black. And my diagnosis is premature lungs and lung disease, primary immunodeficiency and disease, and I like asthma camp because I like golfing and I like the party and I like dancing. My favorite part was golfing because I like golfing and it's fun. It's fun to get them in the hole, and I like the sound of it getting in the hole.
What do you do with the vest? Wear the vest?
My vest, it shakes my body and it shakes junk inside my body, so it gets better. And my IV, they put like a little needle, and that's it for like 2 to 3 hours.
But it makes you better.
But it gets me better. And if I do the IV, then I get to go out of state, but I never have when I done the IV. And so, thank you.
I'd now like to introduce to you Christine Jorgensen. Christine is a nurse here at Cardin, and Christine has been a fan and an advocate for Camp Soaring Eagle since the day the Max came to Phoenix with the vision of having a camp for seriously ill children here in Arizona. Christine works every day in the hospital here with the children, but she comes to almost every camping session we have. And I'd like Christine to share with you a little bit about her perspective as a medical provider and a volunteer at camp. Christine?
Now, I don't know, I grew up in camp. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up going to camp, and I think every child needs an opportunity to go to camp, whether they're well, whether they're not well. I think it's amazing that we have Camp Soaring Eagle, that we can take kids that are not well, that may need meds all the time. Maybe they don't need meds during the week there, but they just need a break from what they're normally doing. Their treatments at the hospital, their chemo, which they still may have to have while they're at camp, and they get while they're at camp. Their treatments, we don't, deprive them from anything. These kids need to be able to go, and what better place can we do that than where we do have doctors and nurses? So we get these kids back. They come into the hospital and say, when are we going back to camp? And that's the number one thing we hear. When are we going back to camp? When can we go? Is it summer yet? You know, and as they said over here, as soon as you say to the child, do you want to go to camp? Yeah, when is it? Well, it's, you know, in June. Well, I'm going to pack. I'm going to go home and pack. And the confidence that we see, the excitement that we see in these kids has just grown immensely. And I've been working with kids with chronic illnesses and serious illnesses and cancer and all of that for about 11 years now. And seeing the chance now that these kids have to go, the kids with their asthma and their lung issues, that they can go and say, whoa, there's other kids that have this. There's other kids that have to take their breathing treatment. There's other kids that have to take chemo. A port, you know, some of them think that they're the only one in the world with a port that they get their chemo through. Well, they get to camp and they realize, 3 kids in their cabin have a port. But they realize that these kids, you know, pretty much everyone at camp has something that they're going through. And so then they get to come back and they say, you know, I met so-and-so that has this, and they have to do this every day, and I only have to do it once a week. So they also realize that there's kids out there that are worse off than they are too. And I think it just makes them grow from, you know, from all of the things that they get to do. One of the things that I really enjoy about seeing the kids come back is we got to go horseback riding. I've never been on a horse before. They got to do that. The golfing, he enjoyed the golfing, all the different experiences. I have to show, if you see one of these flyers today, one of my favorite pictures of all Camp Soaring Eagle is on the back. And if you get a chance to look at that, it's my little Katie. If I can say in one word, describing Katie, it was determination this week at camp. Because if you notice, she has a fish, and she is holding 2 lines out of that fish's mouth. We spent 5 days at the fishing hole before she caught her first fish. But every afternoon, she was determined that she was going to catch that fish. And I have seen this child now for I think it's 3 years ago that we went, just grow into this beautiful young woman with determination. And I'm telling you, it's because of this fish. She caught the fish once, it broke the line and swam away. She caught the fish again about 10 minutes later, and I would not have believed it if I had not seen it with my own eyes. I took that picture when she pulled it out, and here's the 2 lines coming out of this fish's mouth. So they've had experiences that, you know, there was one little boy that came home with 10 wood crafts. He'd never done anything with wood burning or, you know, building anything before. He's legally blind. He couldn't see. No one ever thought he could hit a nail with a hammer. But at camp, he got to do it. You know, just the determination, so confidence, determination, just the growth that we see in these kids. And I just think Camp Soaring Eagle is the bomb. You rock. I wouldn't be any other place the first week of June or the second week of June other than Connecticut and going with these kids on the plane. So on behalf of the children of Arizona that are living with life-threatening illnesses, serious diseases, thank you. And keep coming back.
So as you can see, it takes a big group for us to pull this off, from the volunteers to recruiting the families to the medical staff. But I'd like to introduce to you the Camp Soaring Eagle staff. We grow each year and we serve more kids and we need to raise more money to do that. But behind that is an incredible group of individuals that I'm just really, really proud of. So I'd like to bring them up. Rick James, our Director of Development. Tiffany Imhoff, our Director of Marketing. Juan Morales, our Director of Operations. Carrie Weiss, our Director of Special Events. And Gina James couldn't be here this evening. She is battling the flu. But behind all of this is a great group of people that give it their all, and I'm proud as heck of all of them. And I'm very proud to announce that Camp Soaring Eagle is beginning a hospital outreach program this year, and we will be beginning in March. We will be bringing Camp Soaring Eagle to Carden Children's Hospital. So we will be here 2 times a month, bringing crafts and games to the children who are unable to come and attend camp. And we're really excited to bring camp to these kids, to bring a little laughter to them while they're here in the hospital, and also to expose more people to what it is we're doing, because we really need to spread the word. A lot of donors here and people who can give in many different ways. But from the very beginning, we've had one individual who has stood out far and above all others who come to camp and volunteer. We have an individual who stays up at night and makes sure that the children have every single thing they need. And she really exemplifies the magic of camp and the gift of caring. And that woman is Maria Elena Morales. And Maria Elena Morales is our Volunteer of the Year. Thank you, Maria. And we have some flowers for you. And a certificate and a little special getting